Hi, Pisces. Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to your November Taroscope. So, Pisces, so much going on right now. Venus is in retrograde, bringing up a lot of stuff for us, right? With regards to our feelings, with regards to our old relationships, with regards to the things that give us pleasure, with regards to the things that make us feel powerful. Same time in November, we have the lovely planet of Jupiter going into the sign of Sagittarius. It's home. What does that mean, Jupiter and Sag? Party. We've had Jupiter and Scorpio for a little while now. I think about a year or so. And it's moving to Sagittarius. All that heavy shit is going to get lightened up. Now we're looking towards the future with optimism. Now it's almost as if this light, like Sagittarius to me is always like the torch, right? That sheds light on things, that leads us forward. And with this planet of abundance and wealth and good things in a sign like that, I think we've got happier times ahead, Pisces. So here's what we're going to do. A bunch of cards just fell out. I don't even know if I want to look at them. I'm going to look at them. Okay. Chariot reversed. Magician reversed. Seven of Swords. Okay. So Pisces, let's go ahead. We're going to start pulling cards and see like what's been going on for you guys in October. Take a look at what we have to look going forward here. Right, but this makes a lot of sense here right now, what I'm seeing here. You know, the Chariot reverse to me is just like confusion. And that's what I was thinking when I was reflecting on Pisces this month is I almost saw like the fish, like, you know how your fish like kind of circle each other? I almost saw it as if like you're in this like washing machine. And you're spinning and you're out of control and you don't know which way is up, and like there's these moments of maybe like feeling like you got it all down pat, and then all of a sudden something switches up and changes, and now you're confused again. Now you don't know what's what. Now you don't know where the hell you're going, what the hell you're doing anymore. You thought you had it all figured out. You thought you knew what was going down, Pisces. You thought that the way things were going was like on track, like you had it down point, down pat. Am I saying the word right? I'm sorry. But then all of a sudden, bam, some trickery, some buffoonery, some fuckboy behavior comes along. Some little thing that throws a wrench in what you thought was right. And what you assumed was like the direction that you were moving towards. Nope. What you were building the future you thought was like true to yourself and true to where you've been and where you're coming from and like what you want. Nope. But how much of this, Pisces, we always have to ask ourselves with the Seven of Swords, how much of it is self-deception? It's so quick to look at this card and say, you're being fooled, you're being tricked. But how often are we tricking ourselves? Especially a sign like yours, Neptune, ruled by Neptune, right? Depth and meaning, but it also to me is like going deep into dark water, you know, where like crazy shit is hiding and like you're in this alternate dream world. So Pisces, you might have been tricking yourself. How much of where you thought things were going was maybe even a little bit in your head this whole time? Oh, you thought that relationship was going places? You thought it was going to be better this time around? Things were going to be different? You thought changing your attitude about work was going to like make it all better? Like something in this these toxic things that have been like keeping you down and keeping you unbalanced, and like all of a sudden you somehow thought you were convincing yourself that like those things were no longer applying. These things inside that threw you off balance, whether it's people or like I said, in your head, right? A little bit, your self-deception, sabotage, now throwing you off in a big way, making you uncertain in a way like maybe you're not used to, in a way that maybe you still try to like present yourself as someone who's got it together. The Magician in reverse does not have it together, bro. Here's the thing, though. You guys are mutable water, right? The most changeable, in my opinion, right? Isn't that a thing in chemistry, too? Like, water is like the only thing that goes through all three phases in terms of gas, liquids, and solid. I want to say Mercury also does that, if I remember correctly. If it does, it makes sense, right? Because the other two mutable signs, Gemini and Virgo, are ruled by Mercury. Very changeable, very changeable. Pisces, I think there's a lesson here about slowing down. I think there's a lesson here about going with the flow, but with purpose. It's so funny. This was on the bottom of the deck when I was shuffling, and I was like, this is Pisces energy, Queen of Pentacles. But what I was saying is refine your going with the flow, right? Going with the flow, but with purpose. Not just letting the way of the tides like jerk you around. Like, animals that live in the water know the tides. They might get moved by them, but they know how to work with them, right? They don't just get jerked around by them. And sometimes I think, especially to the people from the outside, Pisces is a sign that's very prone to getting jerked around by your own emotions. That doesn't mean like you guys are not living in reality per se when you do so. It's just your reality, right? It's the way that your feelings are so strong and so you're so intuitive and so guided by your feelings that to outside people, they just think maybe you're wishy-washy, maybe you're flaky. This is something with Gemini too, right? Mutable signs. Sagittarius, mutable. But it makes sense to you. So if you do get frustrated, Pisces, and if this is a warning about other people, understand that especially when y'all are like this, other people are not going to understand you, right? Not everyone can keep up with the flow of your feelings. That does not mean your feelings are wrong. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But you might not have comfort in feeling understood. You might not have comfort in feeling like entirely supported in the way that you want to be supported. You might even feel a little played, right? The classic meaning of this card is like deception, betrayal, duplicitous behavior. It's just a matter of figuring out whether it's yours or theirs. Maybe a little bit of both, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? That's the essence of that saying. You allow yourself to get fooled. It's not always the other person's fault, right? Queen of Pentacles, though, Pisces, I think what's happening in November is coming back to a sense of like self-love. I always feel that with the Queen of Pentacles. It's very much a card to me of love and affection and comfort and this beautiful, almost like like Venusian energy. The way that like this card could represent Taurus energy, right? If you're dealing with the Taurus, they might be part of this duplicitous behavior, but if not, it's just the idea that like Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it makes sense that you would associate those two. I would associate those two. Venus retrograde, though, guys, what's happening is all this shit, we're going to get turned up a little upside down, right? Mid-November, things start to change. It starts to go direct. So hopefully, I think by the end of this reading, we might see things like getting better and improving. But what's happening in Venus retrograde, it's bringing all these things that are almost making us doubt ourselves and question yourself, right? Question your path. Question what you've given meaning to. Question your relationships. That's what Venus does in retrograde. It asks us, does this give you pleasure? Does this give you abundance? Does this make you feel comfort? Does this make you feel love? This relationship, this job, this bad habit of yours, right? It's all about going deeper so that maybe getting thrown into this place a little bit so that we find a place of stability. We find a place of self-worth. And you find a place of like, I hate to almost say it sometimes because it's just like a new agey way to say it, but like self-love. That's what keeps you from doing this shit, Pisces, right? Pisces, right? Or having people around you who do this shit, right? Worth. Saying, I'm more than that. I deserve more than that. Look at just like the easiness in her stance, in the way she looks, in the way she's like holding herself, right? It's just this very comfortable, like in her own skin. Very comfortable of knowing like who she is and what she has to offer. And I think November for Pisces, we're gonna start to you know, understand where that flow has been taking you all this time. Understand better, like, things that happen in your life that may seem happenstance, the painful breakups, the loneliness, the hurt, even the successes and the accomplishments, right? Actually are bringing you into a place where you are more solid, more stable, more sure of yourself than ever. And I think that's what I need to say again with Pisces this month is a sense of being sure of yourself. We have the first quarter moon. So what was I just saying? We're moving from the dark moon here to the full moon, coming out of darkness. In the middle ground where you're feeling some of the pain of the past, but you also, Pisces might be thinking like, this isn't me anymore. This pain is not me anymore. This darkness is not me anymore. It doesn't fit with what I know I'm worthy of having, with what I know I deserve. This suffering, this deceit, this pain, this hurt, it has no place anymore. You're not that person anymore, right? One of the nice things maybe about the Magician being in reverse is that it could maybe be a correction to a false start, right? It's the second card in the Major Arcana, right? Where the Fool starts to find his power manifesting. And if you're getting like turned around at this point, it's almost like okay because it almost makes you feel like you can just start over and start new. Form a new sense of self and a new identity. Pisces, you know, why do you doubt yourself so much? Why do you sometimes doubt? Now, I'm not saying to have this like bold arrogance, right? To just think that everything you say or do is correct. But you know that you are sensitive. You know that you are intuitive. You know that you are wise. You're the last sign of the zodiac. You encompass all of the things of the zodiac, all of the lessons that all of the signs before you have to learn. The Alpha and the Omega, the Queen of Cups, the Mystic Queen. This is Pisces. I think it takes you getting here. Do you see this transition almost? Is it showing the right way? I think it's going this way. This is Pisces' home, the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Emotion, the Queen of Connection. Connection is the key word with you guys, right? That's what you do, you connect. This is someone who, this is what I was saying in the beginning about a refined flow. This is somebody who is emotional and sensitive, yes, but understands those emotions. Knows how to control them. Look at how calm and serene she is. Look at like the patience in her face with like that egg she has in her hand, right? With the chalice, she's like almost in the water because she's so connected to her own feelings. But you don't get to this point of natural trust in yourself and natural sense of love, of being open and vulnerable, unless you get here, right? That's why I think I said the love of self. As corny as I hated myself for saying it, right? There's something more about this. I think that what this Queen of Cups is also saying is that maybe because of this behavior, you might have been starting to maybe close off. And maybe that's what I meant when I said Pisces is maybe shutting down a little bit. I didn't say shutting down. Pisces is, what the hell did I say? Anyway, doubting yourself. Right, doubting yourself. Your superpower, Pisces, is to be connected. Your superpower is like your ability to empathize and to love. And there's almost a part of me that's wondering if you guys are really starting to question love's place in your life. Like, you might have been having a hard time in relationships and maybe have gotten to this place of, you know, maybe outright rejecting it. Questioning, like, whether love is even something that you deserve or want. And it's like, of course you do. Don't lie to yourself, Pisces. You don't have to close off, right? You don't have to close off to become balanced. The opposite. The Queen of Cups is here to tell you that understand you're a creature of flow. You can't be closed off. What happens to water that doesn't move? It gets stagnant. It gets nasty. It gets stinky. Right? Things start to grow in it. Mosquitoes, all that gross shit. Pisces has to flow. Pisces, the energy in your heart has to move. So if you're having a hard time with relationships, Pisces, I challenge you this month to think about love in a greater sense. Love of what you do. Love of your family. Love of your friends. Wherever you find love in your life, look for it. Make it enough for now, right? Because it's coming. Knight of Wands. Passion. Look at this man riding in on his white steed to coming for you, Pisces. But I mean that seriously. I think that if you are looking for love, that this is the kind of thing that excites Pisces. That energy, that fieriness, that come and get me, sugar. And he's gonna come for you. Come. Know what I mean? Now, this could also represent, I think, some hard times you might have been having, and maybe why there's a sense of being closed off. If you've been dealing with the person who is like the Knight of Wands in the douchiest way possible, the arrogant pricks who like think they're hot shit, think they're better than you, want to like just like wag their dick around as if it's like, you know, something that you should be groveling in front of. Playing you a little bit, jerking you around emotionally. Especially if you're dealing with like a fire sign type, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, right? The Knight of Wands. But it doesn't have to be any of those signs. It's just that energy that's been in your life. That aggressive. And not in a sexy way, you know, like there's a Knight of Wands who approaches the Queen of Cups knowing her power and her beauty and respectful of it, and knowing to like attract her, he's gonna have to be attractive, right? So there's a version of the Knight of Wands who comes in showing off his steed and yes, bucking his hair and knowing he's fabulous, but in a way that's like you know, not treating her like she's something to be conquered or owned, but something to be loved. Something to be cherished. Something to not be taken for granted. Something whose beauty you want to, you know, put on display and worship and, you know, brag about, not you know, diminish. So if you've been feeling diminished by a particular person, especially, you know, in the recent past even, now is the time to not close your off to future possibilities. Because now we have the King of Swords here. Possible, much maturer, if it's hurtful, if this relationship has been hurtful, mature energy here. Sharp. Maturity that knows, not maturity, energy that knows your worth, right? That sees you as the queen that you are. The king comes for the queen way more refined and polished than this knight can. Let me tell you, he could be a fucking stud. I mean, but come on. This guy knows how to sweet talk that King of Swords. Got a sharp tongue. Potentially hurtful, right? But he can't hurt you if you know where you are and who you are, right? If you know like your own worth. This person isn't gonna dare like trying to take that away, because that's what's gonna attract them to you. So Pisces, how do we get out of this tumultuous place? First of all, stop playing yourself. Get honest, right? Because that's something else the King of Swords asks us to do. He's sharp-minded. He's an intellectual. So if this isn't someone coming into your life, this is a call, in a way, to balance heart and mind. Some of you might not like this guy as like a counterpart of yours, but it's because he seems a little, you know, intimidating, a little harsh, maybe a little cold. But if you have this person in your life, like, you know, take that advice right now, right? Get out of your own head a little bit. See things from a different perspective. All right, Pisces, let's pull some outcome cards, and then we'll pull a rune card to wrap up this reading. Coming into the month with a little confusion. A little like, if it's not like your world's turned upside down, it's at the very least like, something just happening, I think, that is unexpected and kind of turns your world on its head in a way like that you feel confused. You thought things were going a certain way and they're not. And now you feel played, and now you feel like you've been playing yourself. And it's not just that you've been playing yourself, there's this presence, right? That might have been oppressive to you. What happens when you find your worth, you start to come out of that dark place. When you remind yourself of how fucking sexy and dope you are, you start to come out of that dark place. And you start to find emotional balance and emotional stability and emotional power. And then you're ready for your king. Outcome card, 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is an indication to me that I feel like now is not the time to really there's an element of timing here, and I think what's going on with the 7 of Pentacles, it's asking you as your first outcome card to I'm almost wanting to say to flow again, right? I think with this card in reverse, and especially with the 6 of Wands coming after it, it's almost like more of just a time for celebration. A time for surrounding yourself with the things that really matter, right? This might not be the best time to like really invest in long-term things. This might be a time right now where you just kind of have to get your head straight and get your emotions straight. And that's what I feel with the 6 of Wands. It's like, yes, it's like victory and success, but it's also like jubilation. It's celebration. It's like love and support of loved ones. It's adoration of loved ones. I think now is a time to kind of marinate in the things that make you feel good. Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and to maybe not now make big moves, right? I think that changes are in progress, but it's not the time to make drastic moves with this card. Especially with the 3 of Wands at the bottom, what we're looking at now is the future, right? What we're looking at now is where now we have this clear sight. See how we started off in the beginning with the Chariot in reverse, the card of movement and confidence and intuition and instinct and willpower and just going forward in reverse, where you're like all kind of confused and you can't quite manifest the way you want to. And you feel duplicitous shit around you. And by the end of it, when we just take our time a little bit, right? Recognize the things that, this is almost like recognizing the weeds. By contrast, Pisces, being very aware of your environment and the people around you. Pulling the weeds. Indulging in joy with the people who really are important, the people who build you up. And then taking your time right now and really thinking about the future. Getting your head straight. Not feeling like you have to drive forward, because right now is not the time to make big moves. Right now is the time to get your emotions settled and to find your power again and to find your worth. Because I think by the end of the year into next year, that's when things are good. Like this card showing up here, even though it's in reverse, it's still letting us know that like there's going to be a time where things have to be acted on, things have to be changed, right? It's coming. It's just like not there yet, right? This is like almost like an unripe fruit. But it lets us know that like eventually that fruit is going to get ripe, right? So right now is the time to really settle in your emotions, to have fun, to take real good stock, especially with Venus retrograde, around who's surrounding you, what kind of energy is around you, right? What kind of energy has been just confusing you and playing you and turning you on your head and making you like not want to do good things for yourself and not care about yourself in the way that you really should, right? In the emotional way, the way that makes you feel stable and balanced, right? Maybe you're still experiencing some accomplishments, right? Maybe you're still, you know, even putting away money and doing well in that regard. But what the focus is here for me is this card, the Queen of Cups, this stability, this inner knowing, this sense of worth. Because that is, I think, what you need to move you forward. That's what you need to inspire you to move forward. And the rune card we have here is Berkano. It's the rune of motherhood, right? So what this is asking us to do is to protect yourself, right? I think you need to actually protect, like, your heart first and foremost, but then also, like, the things in your life, right? Like the things that you are risk at losing with this, like, fucked up behavior, your sense of self. This is a card of protection and self-nurturing. This is a card of taking your own sensitivity seriously to the point that you will close yourself off, not from love, but from, like, the shit that you know isn't right. You will continue to love, right? Look in her arm, she has a baby in her hand. She's nurturing. Just because she's protected does not mean she's not loving. She's just very selective about who she lets in. Don't be fooled. If someone comes to you, it makes you feel really good and excited and passionate. If you know that, you know, this is just the same old thing happening all over again. Same old kind of guy, the same old story. Not going anywhere, still stuck in place, not making anything happen. So this is self-care, but of your heart. This isn't like going to the spa. You know, this is like asserting what you allow to be close to you, what you will accept and what you won't accept, what makes you feel strong and loved and nurtured and protected. And what takes away your joy? Who takes away your joy? Who diminishes the pleasure that you feel in your life? About yourself, right? Heal yourself, Pisces. And the first thing you have to do maybe is to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? Stop poking at the open wound. Stop picking at the scab. Self-worth, damn it. Give a fuck. And don't just say, like, you give a fuck, but, like, do the things that make it clear that you give a fuck. Don't play yourself, Pisces. November and December are potentially really powerful, transformative months for you. Don't play yourself and then end up stuck in the place that you've been. Be honest. Be smart. Be intuitive. Trust yourself, your emotions, and your intuition. All right, guys. Cool reading. Got the future. Oh, look under that. We got Judgment. Oh, look at that. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Like, coming out of this place of loneliness. Of lack. But it's not going to happen if you don't let go. Even if it fucking hurts. Alright, Pisces. I almost said Taurus because the Emperor, the Hierophant was under that. Alright, Pisces. So, website has not launched yet. So right now I'm still doing private readings through Etsy, so you can check that out in the description below. I also have a link for my PayPal if you love these readings and maybe you don't want to get a private reading but still want to help support it, make it right. Not make it right, but, you know, help any way you can. I would be greatly appreciative of that. That's in the link below. As well as my Instagram and the cards I'm using today in the description below. Pisces, you know, I think it's really important right now for you guys to get smart about your future so that, like, by your birthdays, you're feeling that new. You're feeling that, like, that brand new self. You're feeling strong and stable, right? Now is the time, though. Now is the time to just make sure that you are good, make sure you're safe, protect your aura. Start thinking about it that way, right? Start thinking about your energy field and what affects it in a way that you don't want it to. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great month. And be on the lookout for more videos coming soon. All right, Pisces. You got this. I love you. Good night.